You had kind of put the tease out before that you're going to get into the SWIFT sanctions, and I don't think a lot of people understand what SWIFT is. All right, so why don't you get into that, explain that a little bit, and then tell us what you think some of the impact of that may be.
All right. SWIFT stands for Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications. And everyone in banking or the financial industry knows what it is. There's no reason for someone outside of that industry to know what it is. SWIFT is a private company. It was established in 1973 in Belgium. It's a Belgian company. And what it is, in effect, is a secure uh, email or website system for financial institutions to pass messages along, primarily for the purpose of transferring money. SWIFT has about 10,000 members or subscribers in its system from about 210 countries, and it transfers through the SWIFT system. Various financial institutions transfer about $6 trillion a day. And now, when you go to a bank and transfer money, you fill out a form, and a few days later, the money arrives where it's posted.
Right.
You don't know what happens in between, but what happens in between are many, many SWIFT messages going between banks. If you just want to read up about it, Google the following: SWIFT MT. MT stands for message type. Google Swift MT, you'll get more than enough information. It's a profession in and of itself to know how to use the Swift system. What the European Union decided was to sanction Iran because of this nuclear issue. It sanctioned 30 banks, and since Swift is a Belgian company and it is obligated to abide by EU sanctions and EU law, Swift announced 2 days ago that it will sanction these 30 Iranian banks, meaning it will not facilitate wire transfers to and from these banks. Now, that's going to have a significant impact on Iran. The extent to which Iran may be able to circumvent these sanctions is a different question. The point, however, is that if the the European Union sanctioned Iran and had SWIFT put a hold on Iranian wire transfers, it shows that it's not only Israel and the United States that's concerned about this Iranian issue, that Europe is, and I'm sure the rest of the world is. The only question is when, which we're not going to be able to answer anytime soon. When will Iran be capable of constructing a nuclear device? Even if those who argue that Iran has not yet decided to construct a nuclear device, that we don't want Iran to be in a position of being able to construct a nuclear device should they so choose to do so tomorrow. And the 2007 National Intelligence Estimate leaves that option open. So those who rely on it are not fully understanding what the document says because it wasn't properly reported in the media. So I think to understand the issue, we need to review a proper reading of the 2007 NIE and a recognition or appreciation that if SWIFT sanctions Iranian banks per the instructions or per the decision of the European Union, that means we have the 27 countries of the European Union also concerned about the Iranian nuclear intentions.
So when we look at that, all right, one of my concerns would be, is this sort of like a is this going to be an effective measure which is going to have a dramatic impact? I mean, from what I'm reading of it, it sounds like this could basically tie up Iranian assets to the point of where we're almost they're almost in strangulation here. All right, where it basically dries up their sources to money, which could have an impact with them, except of course, with their conversations with China and Russia, which could, undermine the entire thing. How are you seeing that?
Well, that's the question of how effective will the sanctions be. And that's first of all, the sanctions, I believe, have started to be effective. Whether or not they will be enough to accomplish the goal, I think is questionable, but they will be effective to some extent. In terms of the economists can give numbers as to how effective it will be, and we can spend time talking about Iran's ability to circumvent these sanctions. But they will have some significant effect. I think this is the first time that SWIFT has cut off banks from a country. So it will have some effect. How much it will actually, I don't think the SWIFT sanctions alone will be enough for Iran to stop developing its program the way it is, but it's a significant indication of what the world thinks. Now, there'll be unanticipated effects of this decision, but unanticipated effects should always be anticipated. We just don't know what they are. So oil prices may rise because of it, and there could be other problems. But we're dealing here with a country that, in effect, has, in my opinion, has declared war on the world when it was established by including in its constitution that it looks forward to the downfall of all other countries by the end of the century. We know it conducts terrorist operations. It was responsible for the Marine barracks killing and the explosion in 1983. It's killing Americans today in Iraq. So this is the regime we're dealing with, and I don't think the sanctions or the SWIFT sanctions alone are going to be enough to stop Iran. But it does show that it's not only America and Israel that is concerned about this.
All right, Richard, thank you very much. You certainly appreciate it. You know, I wish we could, I guess I'm in a chorus of millions of others that wish we could put a timeline to all this and know that, you know, maybe Iran will pause and stop and think a little bit about what it's doing and the impact it will have around the world. All right. I think it's important to everyone, but I just don't think that's in the cards. All right. Thank you very much.
Take care.
All right. Bye now.